No.
Come on, 2 bottles.
Okay, all right. Now you're good. Now you're in the family now. Good. We always said, let's go back to our basics, right? So, Brittney, you'll learn and grow. I'm sure you kind of know a lot already, but on this side of life in the Sparks world, we focus on hydration a lot. So you can depend on me to remind you and everyone now in our Sparks family that's been with us for a long time. Just keep reminding us to stay hydrated. I hope that over the course of these weeks that we've been together, I know I constantly think of ways and think of tips and things to share with everyone, but I always go back to my main source, and that's, are we staying hydrated? Are we staying able to understand different ways to, kind of spice up that side of our life? If we have to drink water and it's kind of boring sometimes, or it's not as tasty for us, what are some things that we can do? Yesterday I was at the store and I thought of you guys because I didn't have any mint. I use mint leaves to add into my water. So it's just a good way to help to give it an extra flavor. And it's healthy, and it's another way for you to stay active and, have something that you kind of look forward to when it comes time for drinking water. Just that change, I think, in a taste is a good way. You can even add fruit. We talked about adding strawberries and cucumbers and other things to your water if you just get tired of it. But knowing half of your body weight, Britt, that's what I'll be looking for. When I see you every day, I'll be saying, what's your water number? What's your intake like? So be ready for that.
I think it's been pretty cool. It's been weird because our training camp is literally, over Zoom, but it's been cool to, not let the first time us talking about a lot of things that we're talking about in virtual camp be face to face. So that's, pretty, have in your back pocket going into it and being able to, you can't really fill everybody out because we're not in person, but you still get to see the, different personalities, and you get to, fill out the coaches, which I have, and I like it. I'm looking forward to it. I think I'm a fit in really well, and, they believe that too. So I'm just ready to get there. Well, for me, I'm not a fan of cardio. We can thank rehab for that because that's the only thing you basically can do in rehab. So I think now that with the whole, virus and everything, I've actually found a joy in running outside now because we're mandated to be in the house. So just going outside and really just like running, 2 or 3 miles, really not too much impact on my knees. I have developed a, friend in the wind bike because, there's the only way you can get in game shape is playing games, and we aren't allowed to do that right now. Luckily, I'm in a place where there's, a couple of pro runs that happen. So, safely we play against each other, but it's still not the season. So,
Right.
Just playing games, getting that type of cardio in, pushing myself, the wind bike and jogging really. And then I'll go for like walks with my family members just to, up hills and everything, just to get that type of resistance in. But mostly just those. I don't really try to do too much because of, like past injuries and everything with my knees, but I for sure get it in.
Is there anything that you like that you do for recovery to help you feel better, whether your joints or your muscles are feeling achy?
Yeah. I've invested in a Game Ready, so I ice a lot to calm my tendons down, especially after workouts for my knees and for my ankle after having the surgery. I do a lot of treatment. We're going to be best friends. I do that during the
I'm down
season,
with it. Okay.
Yeah, I really, really, witness, I stay with the trainer. I try to make sure my body is as best as it can be. I like cryotherapy a lot. I like to do that while I was here in Atlanta, and it's like starting to really, really become a big thing, across a lot of the states. So I'm looking forward to it. I know LA has cryotherapy, so that's one thing I look into. I like pool workouts as a sense of recovery. I'm a huge
Nice.
water advocate, so getting in pools, again, the theme low impact because a lot of impact happened during games. So when I'm not playing, full speed, I try to do things that can equivalent to game, type of preparation, but also giving me that type of break that my body needs because, not just with the Sparks, we go year round. So I try to make sure I do things or I'm in positions to where I can still recover doing the type of things that I like, because there's so many forms of recovery, but there's certain ones that I like to do that others might not, permit me to do because my body's not, where it's at. So I like to do those things.
What are you looking for most coming to LA Sparks?
Winning championships. Winning championships, but most of all, honestly, I'm looking forward to learning from the vets and just learning how to become a better pro and learning how to become a champion. I spoke on it on the live, but it's just one of those things where once I got the call, it immediately popped in my head that I would have a chance to not only win the championship, but win it with a great group of women and win it with women that have already been on that level. So I'm not necessarily going in blind to the situation. I'm around people who have been in those situations. So it's an advantage, and it's comforting to know that, I have leaders on my team that will be able to lead me, towards success as much as they have had it in their careers and to gain that.
You want me to unmute you? You got it.
Wait a minute.
I got you.
Okay.
I got you.
Brittney, I don't have a question for you, but what I need you to do is stay healthy. Glad to see you with the Sparks. Take care of yourself, because if you go down, you got to get up, because I cannot suit up, baby.
Okay. Okay.
You got it?
I will do my absolute best. Absolute best.
Okay.
I was telling Simone where Miss Sue sits at, right behind the Sparks bench, and you will definitely know her, hear her, and you'll see everyone. But she is definitely someone who will definitely support you back there and get on the referees when it's time to get on the referees. She has that covered, so we can just focus on doing our jobs and letting her do that part. So that's good. Thank you for your comment. Anyone else?
I have a question.
Okay.
Brittney, who do you find challenging to guard on the other teams?
I can never get away from this question.
I can't help it. We got to know.
This question.
We got to know when to cheer you on.
Fair enough. You said now on the Sparks, you say who was challenging, or just?
Oh, well, that's okay too. Just in general.
Just in general, I can't really give a specific person. I will say the positions that I guard. So I'm a 3, so I'm guarding the likes of like the Maya Moores and the Simones, and sometimes when coaches wanted to put Candace at the 3. So it's one of those things where I guess it's a little difficult when I'm having to guard a guard that's bigger. I'm quicker, I'm a quick guard. I move fast, but when it comes to the size, we see these arms now, guys. So,
Linguini.
they're lengthy. I like to say they have some limp to them. But I'm strong, but I do find myself having to make sure I'm outsmarting my defender when it comes to guarding guards that are a little bit bigger than me, have kind of a height challenge. But if I had to pick one person, I'd say guarding Erica Wheeler on pick and rolls is probably a pain in the neck, because she's so crafty and you have to respect her jump shot, and she can find her teammates, and she just wiggles through the pick and rolls like a snake. So I got some of my pain in guarding the pick and roll, because I know it's hectic when I have to, perform one. So Erica Wheeler, I'll give it to her.
Thanks, Britt.
So let's stand up. Let's get our arms moving. Let's see how I can. Let's get big circles, big circles. We really have to focus on keeping our upper body as loose and as flexible as possible, because we spend a lot of time sitting down. So it's important to me that I take a few breaks when I'm at my computer too long, or when I'm sitting down, we're going backwards. I feel that. You want to try to make big circles with your upper body and your arms. Good. Now we want to open and close like we're hugging ourselves. In and out. Good. You should feel that stretch. Open as wide as you can, moving back and forth. Good. Good. Now we want to go up and down. So try to reach as high as you can to the ceiling. You want to stretch your shoulder joints as much as you can up and down. So just taking breaks in between everything that we're doing during the day, really just to get our joints moving. I like to do these simple range of motion exercises. You want your hands to slide down the outside of your legs. Try to reach past your knee. The target is your knee, the outside of your knee. But just let your arms slide down, up and down. Good. Now we're gonna put our arms straight out and let's do some upper body rotations. You wanna find a wall and try to look at that wall behind you. Good. These are just range of motion exercises that really just allow the muscles to move and to be nourished enough to create that, okay? Let's go reaching down and touch your toes. We'll go up and down. If you can't touch your toes, that's okay. You can touch your knees. If you can't touch your knees, you want to just slide your hand down the up and down part of your thigh, upper side. Reach down, touch your toes. Good.